Yes, it is. Stand up for Jesus. That's a hymn written by George Duffield Jr. in the year 1858 and inspired by the dying words of his friend and fellow minister Dudley Atkins Ting. Now, Ting, a popular preacher known for his strong stance against slavery, was visiting his farm when he reached out to part a mole working a corn shelling machine. His sleeves got caught and his arm was severely injured. Ting's injury was severe and he was discovered hours later severely weakened. Before succumbing to his injuries, he entrusted his friend George Duffield with a final message of their fellow minister: stand up for Jesus. Now, Duffield, deeply affected by Ting's death and his powerful message, penned the hymn stand up for Jesus. He incorporated Ting's exact words and imagery of spiritual warfare, Ephesians chapter 6 verse 40, where Paul urges believers to stand, therefore, having your loins girt with truth and having on your breastplate of righteousness. Now, the hymn's impact. The hymn was first read at the close of a sermon Duffield delivered at a temple at a Presbyterian church, and it quickly gained popularity, becoming a beloved hymn sung during the Civil War on both sides. It continues to be a powerful reminder of a call to stand firm amidst one's faith. And for us who are Methodists and who are Men's Fellowship, we know that this is our song: stand up for Jesus. Men's Fellowship, for Christ, for Christ, for Christ. That is what the Men's Fellowship. May God bless you. May He make His face to shine upon you. May God continue to lead us to the end of the journey. And may this Friday in ye and pay ye pa. Kobane Sadia, na ye mamu akwa baby, ye mamu akwa baby. Christ into you, Christ into you, Christ into you, Wofe, Miakata, preach the word
in season and out of season.
Preach the word
in season and out of season.
Preach the word
in season and out of season.
I will serve
the church.
I will serve
the church.
And I will serve
the church.
Fathers and mothers, dear colleagues, the world, the world, the world, and may all ministerial brethren respond my parish. It's a Friday morning, and this is how the morning will go.
Alright, so today is Friday, so we are going back to how we used to do it. We are asking, how best can one overcome? I didn't finish.
Yesterday in my class, one student had the comment. Say, has your heart been broken before?
Say,
has your heart but I kept it to myself. No, my heart has never been broken before. It's a heart of stone.
Well, somebody didn't allow me to finish, but somebody told me what the question would be. So, how best can one overcome heartbreak? Today, that is our question for 𝗟𝗚𝗏𝗘. So, do well to join us as Love Like Sobolo joins us this morning. We delve deeper into what it's all about, whether it's in the relationship, it's in marriage, whatever it is, whatever aspects of our lives that we have experienced some heartbreak, we are going to find some solutions to it this morning. In the meantime, the Wesleyan News update will hit your screens, and of course, the newspaper headlines. So take a look at our health, some insurance minutes, and then come back to your favorite part of the show, which is the 𝗟𝗏𝗘 segment. And so remember that all the stories you're going to be reading this morning, you will take note of it, and then you will also ask your questions or contribute accordingly. We'll bring you the sports updates and of course 𝗟𝗚𝗏𝗘. Today is Friday, so if you are celebrating your birthday or you know a loved one who is celebrating his or her birthday, send us his or her picture, a name, and add a message. Let's do well to celebrate that special person. And so that is how our day is going to be like. We'd love to do this with you, and so do well to join us from now until a little after 10 a.m.
All right, Indianopedia, Yenia Brese Crodom. Hey, any brain so Jankambe who say, Yenia Brese But said the TV, we are only here on duty. Tha me ways of room na me ato kata ta me gboglomba na elabaji anacho na vashi TV na labaji anacho na vashi TV.
This language is a heavy.
At least you are hearing TV.
TV. Okay. Say it again.
Mabade na elabaji anacho na vashi TV.
Don't change the channel.
No, change the channel. I'm saying that if you're on bed, wake up and go put on your TV.
You.
No one na do for baviada, no pobo for go talk. Nyenya celebrity so. All right, dear friends, just to spike up NAS event lessons a little bit. Right, thank you, our sponsors, 𝗟𝗏𝗘. We are so grateful to you, Barbarella and Williams. We are so grateful. But enter the nebiaka mpacha mama yehuna week here ebesimu die esi etimi echange bibia na eye kama. Well, beyond that, we are grateful to the Wesleyan Dew multi-credit. Thank you so much. Raining Shopping Mall all the way in Bogatanga and Mososo Yeni Asomosopa Christian Service University and the Reteni PIP Test Institute. So grateful. Now, in the meantime, let me just bow out and herald Misna from the news department. It is time for the Wesleyan News Update.
Hooray! The Methodist Church Ghana is 190 years old. Grab your 190th anniversary souvenirs from MIPO or any of the diocesan offices across the connection. Get the t-shirts and lacrosse designed with African print fabrics, customized gold and ceramic award plates, mugs and pens, quality and affordable mufflers, and the Methodist blue cloth or the connectional cloth. Buy your t-shirts with the connectional procession to support the Brigade Band to launch the Young People's Week on the 12th of July 2025. And let's climax the 190th anniversary celebration with a Thanksgiving service across all societies as we clad in a Methodist blue cloth or the connectional cloth on Sunday, 24th of August 2025. Don't be left out in this celebration of the 190th anniversary of the Methodist Church Ghana. Call us on 0242 122 787 or you can visit us at the Grant House adjacent the Holy Spirit Cathedral at Adzika, Accra.
Looking for professional office space? We are here to help you out in every way. Available space to let within the building is a total of about 2,500 square meters. We have in place disability-friendly washrooms, male-female washrooms, and kitchenettes with 24/7 water supply. We are providing the best office space for your business, coupled with an on-site clinic and a spacious car park. Reach out to us before your competitors do. Wesley Towers is designed to make you feel safe, offering you the needed luxurious personal space. It comes with affordable pricing package. Please contact for details and inspection on 0503 109 978, 0500 166 304 or 0556 302 880 or 0243 614 423. Wesley Towers, offering you a safe, secured, luxurious office space.
July 2025. Thank you so much for joining us on the 𝗟𝗟 News Update. We are coming to you live from our studios at the Grand House at Adzika, Accra. Coming up in this bulletin, all set for 𝗟𝗡𝗻𝗻 North rerun today as EC pledges fair and transparent polls. Meanwhile, NPP's 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗘 has confirmed her participation in today's rerun despite party's boycott. Also coming up, government issues 1-week ultimatum to engineers and planners and Azuma Resources to settle Black Volta gold dispute. Sam George expresses deep concern over Ghana's decision to abstain from LGBTQI+ vote as he reaffirms stance against gay activities. Elsewhere, South Africa fears spike in HIV infection amid US aid cuts. My name is Anita and 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗘. Let's settle for the detail. The Electoral Commission has assured Guineans that the rerun of the parliamentary election in the 𝗟𝗡𝗻𝗻 North constituency today, 11 July, will be conducted in a fair, transparent and credible manner. Speaking at a press briefing ahead of the polls, the Deputy Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Bosman Asari, said preparations were complete and the EC was committed to ensuring the election process reflects the will of the people. The EC announced a rerun in 19 polling stations after the security concerns prevented the collation of results in parts of the constituency during the 2024 December parliamentary elections. The NPP's Nana 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗘, who is making a comeback, will go head-to-head against the NDC's 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗍𝗏 to find a lawmaker to represent the constituency. The EC explained that a clear path has been outlined to complete the coalition process in line with legal procedures. Reaffirming the Commission's commitment to upholding electoral standards, he added, "We assure the public and the political parties that, as always, we will live by our motto and ensure that the rerun is fair, transparent and credible." The EC also extended its best wishes to the two candidates contesting the seat. Meanwhile, the NPP's parliamentary candidate for the 𝗟𝗡𝗻𝗻 North, 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗘, has confirmed her decision to contest in the upcoming parliamentary rerun scheduled for today, July 11, 2025. Her confirmation comes despite an earlier stance by the NPP not to participate in the rerun, which was ordered by the Electoral Commission following disputes over the authenticity of results from 19 polling stations during the December 7, 2024 general election. Speaking to journalists at her office in Odoko, Accra, on Thursday, July 10, 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗘 expressed confidence ahead of the polls and reaffirmed her commitment to securing victory. 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗘's application to stop the rerun was dismissed on Wednesday, July 9, by Justice Alibaba Abature, who described the motion as unmeritorious. Although the party had initially insisted that the EC's decision contradicted a binding High Court ruling from January 4, 2025, which ordered a collation and declaration of results from 62 outstanding polling stations, 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗘 appeared to have broken ranks with the party's official position. The NPP's legal team had further argued that only 3 polling stations were uncollated as of January 27, based on the public updates from the Electoral Commission. Meanwhile, the EC has maintained its decision to conduct the rerun in the 19 affected polling stations within the constituency.
And then they said we are going to go back and collate 19 polling stations. Now, what I want to say on or put on record is that darkness can never cover light. I am the light. I am the truth and the light. I walk with gracious God. I keep saying and mentioning God all the time, that you can never cheat me and go scot-free. The Lord is going to talk tomorrow. Justice will prevail tomorrow.
Now, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has intervened in the ongoing dispute between engineers and planners and Azuma Resources Ghana Limited, issuing a 1-week ultimatum for the parties to resolve their differences or face a state-imposed decision in the national interest. This directive comes in the wake of a
$100 million acquisition facility agreement signed on July 7 between the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development and the ENP. The deal was hailed as a major milestone in establishing Ghana's first large-scale, wholly indigenous gold mining operation through the acquisition of the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 gold project. However, the agreement came under scrutiny after Azuma Resources, the company associated with the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 mine, publicly denied any formal relationship with ENP. In a statement dated July 8, Azuma asserted that ENP does not own any shares in Azuma and has not made any formal offer to invest or fund the company. The company reaffirmed its full control over the project, stating that development would proceed in accordance with the Ghanaian law. But in a letter dated Thursday, July 10, addressed to both parties, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 said, "I refer to you, your earlier respondents, in respect of the above subject matter, as well as the various press releases and public statements that we have since been issued concerning the disputes. The minister has also directed the Minerals Commission to facilitate and support the resolution process to ensure the timely commencement of the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 gold project." He further urged parties to refrain from addressing the issue before the media and instead focus on constructive dialogue and responsible engagement. Now, the Minister for Communications and Digitalization, 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has reaffirmed its unwavering stance on the LGBTQ+ matters following Ghana's recent abstention from the vote on draft resolution 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. In a post shared on Facebook, Mr. Nati stated, "My position on the matter of LGBTQ+ remains steadfast. I have read the full statement Ghana made on the floor in relation to our position on draft resolution 𝗟24, and I align fully with the letter and the spirit of the text." He expressed deep concern over the decision to abstain in the subsequent vote, saying, "I cannot, however, in good conscience understand the decision to abstain in the subsequent vote. That vote is in conflict with Ghana's espoused position and my conscience. We must at all times make our position clear and unambiguous." The minister further revealed that together with his colleagues in parliament, he has resubmitted the same bill that was passed last year but was refused assent by former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Like I indicated earlier, together with my colleagues in parliament, we have resubmitted the same bill that was passed last year by parliament, which Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo refused to sign. I urge Parliament to expedite the approval process, so we present the bill to President John Dramani Mahama, he said. Concluding his statement, Mr. Nati stressed, "The innocence of Ghanaian children and sanctity of our values cannot be traded for any consideration. Let truth and our conscience and principles be our guiding light." Chairman of the Small Scale Miners Association, 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has been arrested by the IGP's Special Anti-Galamsey team for trying to intervene in the arrest of illegal miners operating in the 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Forest Reserve in the Ashanti region. According to the police, 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 confronted a special team sent to flush out illegal miners in the 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Forest Reserve, demanding that they explained their mission in the forest. Upon his arrest, he explained that he had received information that the task force had invaded his mining site in the forest. The police stated that by law, small-scale licenses are not given to small-scale miners to mine in forest reserve, raising questions about the intentions of the small-scale miners in the forest reserve. The 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Reserve has been described as the only red spot in about 44 forests invaded by illegal miners in the latest Forestry Commission data. 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Has since been handed over to the Nkari police to assist in investigations. Now, President John Dramani Mahama has expressed Ghana's interest in partnering with the Portuguese government to establish a national airline as part of efforts to boost the country's aviation and economic sectors. He made the remarks on Thursday, July 10, during the ceremony at the Jubilee House to receive letters of credence from 5 newly accredited ambassadors to Ghana, including Maria Decencio de Sousa Pilar, the new Portuguese envoy, and other ambassadors present were from Seychelles, Venezuela, Chad, and Gabon. In his interaction with the Portuguese ambassador, President Mahama noted the strategic importance of deepening bilateral relations with Portugal, particularly in aviation, trade, and industry. He further emphasized the need to expand economic ties and attract more investment into Ghana, citing the country's rich natural resources and growing market. And gospel musician 𝗟𝗏𝗡, known by her stage name Yana, has blamed the Christ Apostolic Church for the events that led to the death of her father, Apostle Augustine 𝗟𝗏𝗡. According to Yana, her father's health began to deteriorate following his forced exit from the church after an election that voted him out of office. Apostle 𝗟𝗏𝗡 had served as the General Secretary and the latter the chairman of the Christ Apostolic Church for many years before the fallout. Diana said her father felt betrayed and deeply hurt after being removed from the church he had served for decades. Recalling the emotional toll on the family, Diana said, "I would say that I was very bitter, the secretary of a church that had nothing to being a chairman of the church, and then all of a sudden, it is like you have been stripped of everything." He was crying, his eyes were swollen. They took him away from us, she noted. Diana also revealed that the pain of her father's death impacted her personal life, contributing to the collapse of her marriage just a year after his passing. Apostle Dr. Augustine 𝗟𝗏𝗡, a renowned preacher and popular television figure, died on 26th of June 2014 at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital and was laid to rest on August 23, 2014. A former contestant of the music reality show Stars of the Future, Diana is known for her powerful voice and soul-lifting worship songs. Her discography includes notable songs such as 𝗟𝗏𝗡, Victory, Who You Are, and I Believe, which have earned her nominations and accolades within the gospel music space. Elsewhere, Google used to collect her antiretrovirals from the USAID-funded clinic in Johannesburg, but when President Trump's cut to aid funding were announced earlier this year, she and thousands of her HIV-positive patients across South Africa suddenly faced an uncertain future. Google was lucky. The clinic where she got the medication that helps suppress her symptoms contacted her before it closed down. She will run out of antiretrovirals, ARVs, in September and then plans to go to her local public hospital for more. A former sex worker, a 54-year-old, found out she was HIV positive after she had quit the industry. 10 years ago, she got a chesty cough and initially thought it was tuberculosis. She went to a doctor who told her she had a chest infection and treated her for it. But when the treatment failed, she went to the clinic to get an HIV test. She was right, and she has been on ARV since. Many HIV-positive sex workers in South Africa relied on private clinics funded by the U.S. government's now-defunct aid agency, USAID, to get their prescriptions and treatments. But most of the facilities closed after U.S. President Donald Trump cut most foreign aid earlier this year. Google believes that many sex workers could be discouraged from going to the public hospitals for their ARVs if they can no longer get them from the clinic. She adds that recently she went to the local hospital with some friends to register her details and build a relationship with the staff. She thinks this could lead to many sex workers defaulting on their medication, especially because their hospital files contain a lot of personal information, and the concern is that sometimes the nurses at these local clinics aren't always most sensitive in dealing with the kind of information. That will be all for the Wesleyan News Update. For more news, log on to any of our social media platforms. My name is Anita and Afarley. Thank you so much for watching.
Praise God, praise God. Christ in tea, you respond, yeah, addition. I'm excited to announce to you, friends in the Lord, are you seeking for a platform where you can pray? Open baby up a soul bomb pie. Now ninyami edi inkita home. Bibi chiro so. And I'm yebi na the same kum. And you come home. Let's go into the prayer room. on WTV every Friday 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. to meet seasoned ministers of God that God has raised to impact your life. Remember, John Wesley said, I have too much to do, therefore I spend several hours in prayer in able to do it. That is why we are calling upon you. Meet myself, Reverend Hosea Say, and the Evangelism Mission Renewal Directorate as we lead you into the prayer room where we encounter Christ. And I believe your life will never be the same. Call your friends or loved ones every Friday 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. where we will encounter Christ. God bless you. See you on our screens on WTV every Friday 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. God bless you.
That each and every one of us
Good morning to you once again. Thank you so much for joining us on the segment from the papers. We bring you all the headlines of the major newspapers across the country. Our first paper is the Daily Graphic, Truth and Accuracy Every Day. Dispute over chieftaincy to tight security in Quarcoo. Some paragraphs here, the rest on page 3 of the paper. Now, stage sets for 𝗟𝗡𝗻 North polling station rerun, and that is on page 13. But sterile men should avoid hot water bath. That is from an expert. Well, that's it for the Truth and Accuracy, the Daily Graphic newspaper. The Daily Guide. 𝗟𝗡𝗻 North rerun, NPP and NDC slug it out. And jealous man burned 200 houses in Ahujo. Lands Minister calls for 7-day ceasefire in ENP and Azuma dispute, and that is on page 6. But page 3 says that one nabbed over immigration officers' murder. And that's the sad one, but that's it for Ghana's favorite newspaper, the Daily Guide. The Ghanaian Times, the most authoritative newspaper, says that tragedy, policemen, 2 others perish in Adamaso Road crash. And 𝗟𝗡𝗻 North parliamentary election rerun today. Ekuye defies NPP directive. That is on page 9. Page 13 says that prioritize local investment, chief of staff to MMDAs. And philanthropist donates 50,000 Ghana cedis to support Agnes Owusu's brain tumor surgery. And that is it. But God bless you. And that is on page 11. Find the details on the most authoritative newspaper, the Ghanaian Times. The Chronicle, the Sphere of the Nation, says that businessman allegedly steals 14.5 million Ghana cedis from the late John Kume's family company. That is on pages 2 and 3. Police exhume another body in Adidome Enclave. Wow. And that is it for the Sphere of the Nation, the Chronicle newspaper this morning. The Daily Statesman. Give landowners right to mine gold. Government charged to stop stealing from the poor to feed cronies. And over 5,600 delegates to grace NPP conference. Police nabs suspect in killing of immigration officer, and minority condemns government's abstention on LGBTQ rights at the United Nations. And that is on page 2 of the Daily Statesman. Grab a copy of that newspaper. Now, the Daily Analyst, without fear or favor, says that Azuma Resources and ENP dispute, Lands Ministry gives 7-day ultimatum to parties, pages 3 and 4, to settle the difference. Now, 𝗟𝗡𝗻 North rerun, not politically influenced, and that is from the EC with a picture of Dr. Sarah Bosman right there. Double salaries, Akufo-Addo granted clemency to NDC officials, and that is from Achampon, who is alleging. Now, Agric Ministry pushes for food security in Ghana, and new GJA executives all set for today's swearing-in ceremony as Mahama and acting CJ grace occasion. The Centralized Scholarship Secretariat, Anodonpre, tells government, and that is it for the Daily Analyst newspaper. The Inquisitor, says that NPP flag bearership race in the Chum struggles. The picture of the former education minister. Okonfosu chairs GIPC board and MPs visit to TCDA to understand operations. Professor Jampo forgives his assassin, and that is it for the Inquisitor newspaper. The Herald. $250 million Chinese cash sabotaging Ibrahim Mohammed's engineers and planners. John Mason's credentials questioned. Minister orders 7-day mine dispute resolution. And Amiao Ikumfi Solomon Asamoah, $2 million SkyTrain trial begins on July 23. NPP presidential aspirants spray cedis and dollars on a Blakeman North candidate. GIPC launches investment mapping of all 261 districts, and ministry targets 2,000 megawatts renewable energy by 2030. Germany backed Enelag project strategic pillar, and Tor Partners Petroleum Hub to train 500 youth in oil and gas career. These are some of the stories inside the Herald newspaper, but we'll end with the Business and Financial Times. Savings and loans sector hits 10 billion Ghana cedis in assets. Regulatory delays cost 30 million Ghana cedi weekly demurrage at ports. GSA, EPA, others to blame, but governments to overhaul GIPC Act, and Standard Chartered declares dividends at 55th AGM, highlights capital preservation, innovation, and sustainability as pillars for growth. And that is it for the newspapers, and thank you so much for joining us on the segment. Let's leave you with the word of the day. So the word right there was exacerbated. It means that making a situation or a problem even worse. Thank you so much for joining us on the segment. We'll be back with 𝗟𝗡𝗡. Please stay with us.
This is the time, no more delay. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. This is the time. No more delay. Call a friend to call another that it is time for the young people to connect right here on WTV. Welcome to 𝗦𝗏𝐶onnect, where we connect youth to Christ. The future is here.
Welcome back. This is 𝗟𝗡𝗡. 𝗟𝗡𝗡 is brought to you by the PIP Institute located in Kumasi. Owe adwumuyare anase owe any addiction problem. Na okọ PIP test for wa. O metumi abo na you hu efree mu. Na ochi we ya hye nkomo bia se efa the aged ene ye hwe caring for the aged na afi ehu ba bia ye de bekwakwe. Role of the caregivers a omo hwe sa aged no enu na napa we ye ba be ka ho asem. Enti ni an guest no ewo edemaye.
Painful we hear company nanko tent na wa obeye dormant obeye mobile intebia ozizia na betena nche wi anyi na akọ work mezeme na be example biem ota akọ work wan kọ work a obeye line dance actually bia waso enyom na oresel kakra not anything gidi bia but
according to this trend
but nipa wa around in friend bia so amena me nipo ye pinina motu me nyina ye in one minute work. But when the Ghana for be say, be a pain and a wage and it kills them faster. But say, Abia or is one kitchen. Oh, Nana Pachovets na mention a young bonkomo. Oh, Mirko, I say, Yaka, my nanto. So you are paying attention to Nipani's ban, and you are also keeping the person active and not so lonely because on him there, oh. Me kwa kitchen na mekwa koto me nana o mekwa hadia mekwa koto mpede me koto aze wase he krapa onye mboko and odi eke hu de yen strength no until the ones nti no enye won na to kwaka no kede wa abra o de yen nya aboter na ahofama na ye tum ye hwe won because that is one thing obotum we keep one for a long time. So if you're listening, mama catch you there want no one kasa na kitchen the oh ma wo Wapom is in here. The mazia erizi ombo. At the end of the day, no ebia able to me the madi bottle. It's academic chair na man options. Oh, me ko dietitian na me ko doctor no. Osimizi day. Na man options. Enwa. They are understanding people. Me tasi da won hu ya home so, but they are understanding people. If it make a time and you want kasa a catch on the day na me, I'm very sure that they would say, okay, say buyer ne one on our man buyer na contumre. Master. Even though it is frustrating and you want kasa it make time mawana, you will be able to find a way out through it. But your supplements, the same supplement nutrients ibenya ni nefi is banu. Inti bibi the folic acid supplement. Even your BF consume brain. Inti say unless it's not available to you, your advice that you are what you eat and let food be thy medicine. Inti mponcho yenzi izibano kita high nutritive value.
And I remember my bit media pomoding is here. That's the son of power in so Jimmy, a share at pomoding. But for more of this, do well to join us at 4:30 every Saturday on WTV Consulting Room. This segment was brought to you by the 𝗟𝗡𝗄 Institute located in Kumasi. Yadani one by the Insurance Minute 𝗟𝗡𝗄𝗄.
𝗟𝗡𝗄 Institute. Ayaresabia Hotonia Sumdia Shehoma. Edia ino wakwanchre ni adekodia poten no a epia ma otokoso wa abrabomu nanso sensanom ni nubone fa basa betwa wa akwan mu a eyi wa adwene firi obotaye no so wo 𝗟𝗡𝗄 Institute no yebetumi aboa wo ni wabusuafo a muhia mo anyina ma wogie ayemodea ye yayaresabia asebi yebeboa wona a wato nsane nubone fa ntentan mu ayaresabia ibotaye ne se ebebu adwuma mu nimdifo asuafo ni nipa ahodo nyina ama watu anamwa edikan a edifa ahodie bebre won mpanimfo a ye ne won di dwuma no bi ne won a wo hwe adwene mu yare afutufo ni adokotafo ni anesefo a wode won ho afiri nsanom ne nubone fansem yatete saa nimdifo yi na wo nimdie ne nneoma pa ebo ayarefo no na de atwam nso ne se ayaresan hyehyeye ni gina abefo nhyehyemu ni USA nhyehyeye a wodidi dwuma no 𝗟𝗡𝗄 ayarehwe ne fie die nyina ayepe yayaresan hyehyeye no gu ahodo na ebi ne medical monitored detox program residential rehabilitation yasan tumi fa ye nananom akwa ahodo so sayare na ebi nso ne group therapy 12-step AAA programs recreational therapy ne nia ekeka ho Oyarefo ne da akyehye ase bra ode ne nan besi biaye ho no a 𝗟𝗡𝗄 Institute ya abefo ayaresabia ehwe wona a wadosuko won sane nubone ifamu na ani wiase afa na nhyehyeye nyina nso yepe adampa hodo a ye wonu bi ne VIP rooms professional rooms standard rooms and air conditioned rooms laundry services ye free ahobambo nsem nso wo sro kama yesan obia ya osua de na eba no aduane sem de a uni hawkra ye na tru kwan wo Kumasi kochi e wa Asante Mantam Ghana sa wo pentremu bia nso a mepa acho frayan wo 0245849185 ana 032249 6188. USA Fonson Freyenwo 404-735-7697. Abe Fontaine Tansu Behuniyenwo www.𝗦𝗏𝗍𝒻.org. Peep Test Institute, the Extension Center for Integrative Therapy, home away from home.
Welcome back once again. Insurance Minute is brought to you by 𝗟𝗏𝗏 Insurance. Well, this morning, if you're looking forward to buying an insurance policy, just do well to log on to their website, info@𝗟𝗏𝗏insurance.com, and get to read more on the different insurance policies. And if any of them appeals to you, do well to buy a policy for yourself. But it's Friday, and so those of us who will be driving, who will be using the roads frequently, let's do well to watch out for other road users. And if you are involved in any crash of any sort, do well to contact your insurer before you decide to accept or admit to your fault. Your insurer can be 𝗟𝗏𝗏 Insurance because the motor insurance policy comes in 3 different folds: the third party fire and theft, and then the comprehensive motor insurance policy. Your claims are always rest assured once you are able to pay your premiums on time. And so do well to get in touch with them, or you can call them on 0302-763-065, or you can go on to all social media platforms and get interactive with them. Thank you so much for joining us on this segment. We'll be back with more. Please stay.
This is 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗘. He's a good guy, but cannot stay away from unnecessary attention and flex. Yes! He received this brand new car from a relative abroad to work with, but decides to wait for a while before registering it. So now, with this uninsured vehicle and a DV plate, he flexes in every corner of the city. Hey. Don't be like 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗘. Insure your unregistered vehicle with the chassis number with 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗘 motor policy and stay covered. You can also take other policies such as personal accident insurance, fire and flood, money insurance, contractors all risk, and others. 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗘 Insurance. If it must be done, it must be done well.
Nyansa, it's Jan and Peninano, and I Jan and Peninano. The baby Biara and Penifuashia, Naya Shire Jun. Ne open Yansano, or Ben Wa, or their good year, Chadjunu good year, and a coffee. Penia Sargent, and some more drop, and some polo. Somewhere, ye tear bobra, a co ye, a frasi frito, near open Yansano, or Mango and Guenia say, the Peninsula Agony, the Bay Shira, Amano, and any Chirima. Yadamwasi.
The impending in Soyagony, Jemre, Nashayan, Mimninde, Nimimninde Pia, and no pat no watching, or Wesleyan television so.
The Christian Service University, a fully chartered private university in Ghana, is inviting applications for admission. Undergraduate programs include BSc Nursing and Midwifery, Computer Science, Information Technology, Bachelor of Business Administration, BA Communication Studies, Planning and Social Development, and Theology with Administration. Postgraduate programs include MSc in Accounting and Finance, Monitoring and Evaluation, Corporate Planning and Governance. We have MA MPhil Communication Studies, MA Christian Ministry with Management, Event Management, MPhil English and Mathematics Education. With quality, faculty and state-of-the-art facilities, we blend academic work with entrepreneurial mindset in all our programs. For more information, please call 0246 275375, 0240-154825 or 0244-596603, or visit our website www.csuc.edu.gh. CSU is located at Odenaho Kwadaso on the Kumasi Obuasi Road, 100 meters off Star Junction. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa.
And to make him better known. That's
all right, dear friends, welcome on board. It is the most hottest, most watched Christian morning show here in Ghana. Sam Radio, see a fear, nyina no aha ana yechimwato na ubi kakra se oko asipiti aha na chese ubi ade ato awohwe se yebetimi aka ensem ni binti yebedi nkomo well. Others are discussing them, but we want to take it from the Christo-centered point of view. You can't also be kind of Methodist DNA. When we say Methodist, they are young country. We are the people called Methodists. We are methodical in our ways, and that's what we bring on board this morning. It's a Friday, and you know there is none other than Mr. Nicholas Taylor. Say Timika incoming and I say
oh, as of now, dear,
incoming.
Oh, it is
elected.
Elect. Not elect yet.
Not elect yet.
But I unopposed so maybe. Since he's unopposed, maybe
unopposed for which position?
For the connection vice chairman.
Connection vice chairman.
Yes, please.
Not just correct. Unopposed.
Yeah, that's very. And I pay chair for more a commander. Kwasiku Adamna Sikafu uniform for. And I feel Emmanuel Methodist paying for so for Arthur and so for Anan. And then Mayor for Winneba Dowses paying for and then the most reverend Paul Boafo. My greetings to him as well. And I'm paying for Yamobuama Jumedi Etumikoso. To be chair Antifilo. This will be Chan Papa. And if you good morning. The champion for you.
And then Antifilo or the Chan or the Bible born once for his. But Mr. Taylor will move on to our friend and someone who are personal, a more power. Well, the first story, it's Ghana's politics. We know that today Ablekuma North stands for another vote. Well, 19 polling stations are going to have ballot boxes, ballot papers, and possibly a longer queue if people decide to turn to the stations. Well, said the Electoral Commission has declared that the rerun of the parliamentary election in Ablekuma North constituency, which will be happening today, the 11th, will be conducted in a fair and transparent and credible manner. Now, speaking to this effect, Mr. Bossman Asari, Deputy Chair of the Electoral Commission, said all this now. On quote, our part as the electoral management body, we are desirous of bringing the election in the Ablekuma North constituency. So a conclusion and a representative in parliament. This is what Mr. Bossman said. But Quarcoo and you go to York.
In 19 out of the 37 polling stations, the commission arrived at the decision to rerun the election in the 19 polling stations because the 19 scanned polling station results used for the collation, though approved by agents of both political parties, were not verified by the presiding officers responsible for those polling stations. The commission was able to secure the confirmation of 18 presiding officers of their scanned pink sheets. The commission was of the view that once its officers were legally charged to conduct the elections at the polling stations, and they have also confirmed the scan results, there was no need to rerun the elections in those polling stations. We state categorically that Ghana's electoral management body is an independent body and will not be dictated to by any person or institution. The aftermath of the 7th December election, the processes to complete the collation in 12 constituencies have created fear, not only in our staff, but voters in general. We trust that the police and the National Election Security Task Force will provide the needed security before, during, and after the process so we can vote and work in peace. On our part, as the electoral management body, we are desirous of bringing the election in the Ablekuma North constituency to a conclusion and to ensure that the constituents have a representative in Parliament. We have thus provided a path to complete the collation process so as to ensure that the residents of Ablekuma North have a representative in Parliament. We assure the public and the political parties that, as always, we will live by our motto and ensure that the rerun is fair, transparent, and credible.
All right, so from the exact words of the Deputy Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Bossman Asari, the Electoral Commission is an independent electoral body, and by that, they are supposed to be independent in all their decisions. Mr. Taylor, the U-turn from 3 polling stations to be collated to the 19 to be rerun, it's still a mystery that has not been resolved.
Yes.
But
Yes. From the facts, kakra, me ye fast answer no ho. You own the electoral commission why ad ni na no. Okodu 37 police stations na some
very well.
Now of these 37 police stations, NDC did not have their pink sheets.
Okay.
The electoral commission didn't have their pink sheets, but NPP produced the scanned copy of the pink sheets.
Okay.
Now,
the scanned copy, not the carbon photocopy.
Not the carbon copy.
Okay.
The scanned copy. Now,
yes, what the why electoral officer. So what is a scanned copy and what is a carbon copy?
Right. Say the two abana. Paper na the electoral accounting. Now obia or two abana be an wodo.
Okay.
Voter onyan a wodo. Percentage a wodo.
Okay.
And party agents and electoral commission officer now okay you presiding officer no na wasan sign and so on no it is normally in a lot of triplicate whether triplicate or 50 plate or whatever so in 10 na what to abana sometimes it's about 12
okay
amobia when you be and to say a draw what top one now it appears on all the other sheets
okay
and the actual proof that the remainder are called carbon copies
okay
now a scan copy here every carbon copy in the hole. Now at the phone, another that scan.
Okay.
Then it becomes a second something on your original one.
Original.
Into the MPP one worked a scanned copy of the results in over 37 polling stations in contention. Now, every NDC will raise objection. There in elections, you do have or your carbon copy na wadi on your scan copy.
Okay.
And now electoral commission Rebecca said that was a young free presiding officers now. What by your elections? No more share there. Ma order what one day came no. What they were able to look at I think 18 of these scanned copies. The presiding officers, the MPP, the NDC, and by extension the electoral commission. When now what did to me there? Them 17 now. When done, there's no problem with it. It's when I what did to.
Okay.
Now it came to 19. Now 19 no and presiding officers no what ban will be there. Oh, the signature is not mine. Across say, my police station one we are two aben. Yeah, rejected ballot, but on this scan copy, rejected ballot, not there, and Yamuana, and Timothy. So for this 19 now, okay, there was no consensus on them.
Okay.
Now, and the assumption that about since I watched 17 now to more that you the 19 I can obey 16 also at to Macatria on no one pink sheet when you scan copy when you be an Acatri.
Okay.
Then end this objection there. No. 1 into.
Okay.
And therefore, my contention of Bankasan on your 19 now, including the trainer on where we're showing you. No one
all right. And so were we not deceived when Mr. Bossman took to Parliament and told all of us that there were 3 that is yet to be called? Why didn't he give others explanations? Because in the face of the pink sheet, you know, it appears that we have been deceived in a sort. It would catch the Parliament. It is just 19. However, it is 19 that cannot be accounted for at all. But the rest of the 70 has been collated in a sort, but there are no consensus.
Correct.
I think that one makes it clear.
This is the information I want to Bossman because for both MPP and NDC, they agree on these facts. And that is why I'm churning it out.
Okay.
And Bossman made a task today. Yes, there are 17, 19 in contention. No more 3 then people wouldn't have seen them or U10. Now, one number there, Bossman, into my mind, those facts. Now, ultimately, 3 pe na asamo hunti oban critical cra 3 na ebe they say Sierra acquire 19.
Yes.
That is where Ghanaians.
All right, so is it not endorsing the so-called incompetency of the EC, where sometimes people have said say EC pre no the bibi aba be tuja na fe wasamba backtrack. And so they are not fit for purpose. Now say it appears that both MPP and NDC are trumpeting. Shouldn't we carry it
so I wouldn't say that yet. We can maybe it's human error.
Oh, but in such an institution, human error.
Yes, it's serious. And then when the 2020 election and so actually the way electoral commission Mama Jane or board result 3 times, I think 4 times in the Krana, it raises a lot of eyebrows. And when it's for institution like East, now can expect them one collation the everything will be up to scratch. You see, Mr. Akabara in there 19 now.
on no scan copies no but both parties will agree, you know. And the electoral commission if the two parties cannot agree, and we also don't have the original from our presiding officers, we cannot say that we are going to agree on the scan copy. So that means on the yanko na yanko to for. Instead of mama says acquire 19. Okay. Now say Anaka 19 them now. Electoral Commission one press conference Papa Bossman the year now. Or Chada you were about over 6,600 voters. You know what to about. And now it becomes everybody's game.
Yes. Well, even when the EC has even said, with the ones that have been collated already, it appears that Mami Ekuye-Free is leading with a setting 48. But meanwhile, Mr. Taylor, the Nanka Bridge MPP decided to boycott, which in the opinion of many, the new patriotic parties 2024 parliamentary candidate for Ablekuma North, Nana 𝗟𝗏𝗘 has confirmed their decision to contest in the upcoming parliamentary rerun scheduled for Friday. Now, her confirmation comes despite an earlier stance by the MPP not to participate in the rerun. Now, the ABC again, MPP so some of the backlashes to the fact is some that they don't listen to the base, what the base is saying. So at the top you declare that I didn't cry, but meanwhile base, they really want to be part of the whole process. But Mama,
I am contesting. I want Ablekuma North. Everybody should hear me and hear my voice. I am contesting this election. And I am coming out victorious because I won that election, and God will ensure that justice prevails.
But why did it take you so long to confirm today? Because most people, they were waiting for you to come out.
Thank you. People were waiting for me to come out. Yeah. Now, what it is that I knew I had won. And so I was waiting for the right thing. So that's why we went to court. Now, when we went to court, the judge says, look, go and contest, as EC has said. It means I have to step up. I have to start, campaigning. And that is obvious. I mean, it's clear that if you had been the one, you will still exercise patience and wait for what the court will say. If the injunction had succeeded, that's fine. Then we'll go back to the drawing table. But now, please let me wait small. So after that, then I have to recoup myself, come back together and see. So when I realized that the support is so massive, people were coming here asking me to contest, not to withdraw, they are going to vote for me, and that they voted for me, and so I shouldn't relent. My dear, I won. I am not afraid of anybody. Yeah. I am a politician. Yes. I am standing firm and go through this contest, and trust me, tomorrow you hear my name. The MP-elect in Ablekuma North is Nana 𝗟𝗏𝗘 every year.
And now no pay, Mami, Nana 𝗟𝗏𝗘 every year. Wakayen Yasantwa pa. Isan se drubebi na asantimamu na yawakono na mema nyina obroni kwesi broni edi ni tuo ni nakaka bensem ehunahuna yen na edwoso hema sorry say hwe munya mema asantefo munya mema na ya asanto asori ya nyame adom otimi gine mu abesi nne ye boni din a one of the greatest women in Africa's history and Nana Yasanto. Well, we are getting a setting Nana 𝗟𝗏𝗘 obey Nana Yasanto. But what happens here? And yesterday somebody asked me, say, when NEC makes a decision, everybody is supposed to follow. It was supposed to follow. Now, next decision was the fact is that we are not contesting, and that is what NEC has said, which was outlined by the General Secretary. Now, I'm thinking, say, into NEC Akasa Mami Ebusi is she going to be punished? But this is what the General Secretary said in terms of whether they were contesting or not. All right, so that is that. Oshe Nana 𝗟𝗏𝗘 say osi echi na Enimunu Nsheda Nyefe, Justin Kudia. I think we had brought this insert in the course of the week. I know what I said. Well, they are deciding saying ya dia krombe contest. But ma mene say afei de nkrofo ba ne nchen mama hwe yetoma main tiobia anti said de ne kasa main tiobia asem na no mo enwuma no mo bonenye asem keto akra. But we are asking what will NEC do penifo e wosoro mo hye mra e se obi adi so mpacho de na NEC e decide general secretary
ya di asem no akodan court say anamo electoral commission etu no court no and chain for contempt. Every say, Emra electoral commission say no, and yes, Emrano, and no do so. And the toss with you. So I run a electoral commission person or no court is a chain through. Now, yeah, MPP there, no quarry and yes. Now, you're no quarry firm. Say electoral commission. So a twabano, so a twabano, yeah, mammy a curfew, and I do put him our break. Sabi mo nim de si Ablekuma North ha ye to abawie ya NDC hu se omadi mkukuo baby a ballot boxes ewo school a ballot box esi no ma ko twaja akoto school nim nipa odi sa na mo echi odi sa de boni we echi aye NDC omo constituency organizer aye friend Kalamu and now you ya Bonia Wadino and this aban omo rewardino. Mwamu Nyamusha TV Electoral Commission Office Emrantia SLP seat our Electoral Commission Office Etutu our Electoral Commission Office Nana Sadia Rekoso now Electoral Commission Nipana Odi Boneno won't train us on. Na mum de nipa ne kase koye rerun osio mate me kwa koye rerun sadia ye no entimesiamo essential for amaba ha ne no mo fa asem ne kwa bonten na Ghana fo nyina ehu subambone ena na monto bone a electoral commission for A2 na ye wo MPP there the elephant will continue to be our symbol and we shall remain strong and united. No amount of intimidation, no amount of coercion will force us to change our position.
What's up, Lekuma? All right, and so that was General Secretary Neni Abre Eka DSC. But let's take a swipe at the two candidates and here to almost so about very objective analysis right here from WTV's flagship program. Sorry, Nature. We are not politicians. Christopher. And so we say it as Christ would do if Christ were to be here. Now, who is Nana Ekuya Owusu Efriye? Who is Nana Ekuya Owusu Efriye? All right, now, this woman was born on the 3rd of September 1969, and she is a politician. Now, in that vein, we also want to let people know, say, hither to this, she has been an ambassador before. Now, she contested with Sheila Battles at the primaries at Ablekuma North and Uhuri Edi Kain Awujinaye. Now, she obviously contested at the 2024 election Oni Iraba Obene Ejinaye. Now, let's go to the figures and let's see very soon also. So I'll tell you who Irabna Obeng is. All right, so the votes in contention na yeka ho asem no ana aba between so a setting 6,839 votes there say no yehu baby a yebetimi ede poma esi. Now Nana Ekuya Owusu Efriye the isi ede atudwa ne se onu wedi kan ama eye vote a ya badada ya kenkan ya gya tomu de 48 the annual the AD kind is say a can say 19 polling stations na ye ka ho asem na yisi etimi ede enioma tutu. Now who then is a year Mame Obiya ono so ye ka ne ho asem. Well, so Free Anna ye can wasemi ye say September Anna ye wo no 1969 saw Pontin Fantini Precope cry see bisa say oye Methodist in India because Fantifo do na a Methodist. Now she holds a diploma in management studies from the University of Cape Coast. She is a Christian, and what has come out very strong in recent times is the fact that she is a widow with 4 children. Not just say now again, the younger okay, well, so Nana Eke-Free has a strong track record in Ablekuma North. She had served as a member of parliament for the constituency from the year 2016 to 2020 after winning the 2016 election with 54,698 votes, which represented a setting approximation of 67% of the valid vote cast. All right, now she lost the seat in the 2020 but regained the MPP parliamentary candidacy in 2024 primaries. As stated earlier, she contested with the incumbent Battles Sheila, and to this effect, there is the contender, Rabna Obeng, a Ghanaian politician and entrepreneur, currently active in the Ablekuma North constituency. She holds a diploma in management studies from the University of Cape Coast and also has been a student at the University of Ghana. All right, she's a member of the NDC, was elected the parliamentary candidate for Ablekuma North the year 2023 at the party's primary. All right, so in the year 2024 parliamentary election, she claimed victory amid a highly contested, intense electoral process, asserting that she fairly won the seat and vowing to defend her mandate against any challenges. And so these are the short profile. Well, she has also, in that vein, been critical of her opponent, 𝗟𝗡 of the MPP, accusing her of manipulative tactics and refusal to concede defeat. Now, so this tantrums, these accusations are from both sides. Mami 𝗟𝗡 Canadian, Mami Obeng Esuso Canadian, but whatever it is, we leave it to the good people of Ablekuma North to cast their constituency. All right, Mr. Taylor.
Right, Papa. Papa, and it's good profile that had been given to him. In fact, so for Democrat, maybe me pede ye can wasam kakra. Odikan. Rollins used to word to be positive defiance. So the baby na national executive will take decision be over there, over the watch the interest of the grassroots. And say Eshema SCCR Obama young there. The national executive warrior. It was different from what the grassroots was thinking. O Sunday, a bro party year press conference, what kind of they were not going to participate. O Sunday, yes, about to us 1992. It's only 1992 now. That me bring the Abaka Parliament today, MPP and contest on the pen and the NDC. What far Ablekuma North sitting? From 1996 the bodu 2020 or the MPP in the wafer seat na they be one win. And actually one performance so it's very strong. Massive. It's only 2024 and actually MPP one voting up from kakra to about 54%. Now and this one inch up to about a little over 40%. And so this is only time I close. Now, so you close them now, you have a lot of votes already in the basket. And winning the seat should not be a problem. And national executive work there, despite the court injunction, we are going. We already have 48 votes in the basket. Please come. Let's rally around the winner. And the psychology would have worked better for the people to come out and vote for Nana 𝗟𝗡. Now, a brand national executive here, they want one. It may have demoralized the party members. Until last minute now, Nana can know. Most of them grounds now. Party from West Mori and I have a chance. I can go. The Medberan. And now, party from Bebre, when you're there, we are about to. And since it has become something there, but it had become a test now. Say, I'm here, dominance and an equia or win the city. What becomes of the decision by the National Executive? So lose sitting for me. Yes, for me, I will blame the National Executive for this too.
Okay, so for more Ablekumanov, Mumie Ninko, more still vote. I mean, say voting has started.
Yes,
voting has started already. A wako still vote and part to be a money. Na yenshe. What is the situation on the ground? And him say it will be a very smooth.
But some did say time is letter commission man so no too short. It was too short. Because they went call meeting, I think on the 1st or so, the 2nd, and then straight away 11th they took. It was too quick.
Just said no time for any campaign,
for any action. And see, the baby ananka time so ye kakra they could have maybe mobilized their people more.
Oh, they said
but of course maybe because it was just about few police stations.
They said they are an independent body.
Party executive, they take decisions. All they share the thinking of
what
the
is on the ground.
Yes.
What is on the ground?
Now look at the way the grassroots oh mama will vote for you. And then share some of the videos are about out now. You see they are also on the ground campaigning. And sometimes it may also be a psychological something. Oh, you have a count up there, but on the ground we are there.
Politicians. All right, so it's a strategy. However, I was saying, what are some of the areas I hear to about? We have said say 19 of the polling station and now Oshe Ablekumanov the extension no the ne dan soma ebohye. Well, so these are some of the areas ebitimi the atumendum. All right, inti ufafi ase ho a and the sakaman otanten awoshi nyamech Otating, all right, okay. Unyameche been to Odoko Kwashibu Nafe, so that some of the areas again. Kwashibu Odoko been to Unyameche Awoshi Otating Sakaman and Abatuano Aircos. All right, ain't that is what it is. Yenya information Nibia. But we understand that voting Ashasia Bibia Ekosukama. All right, so this are some pictures from the electoral officers Omashe Omo cover dress no Mudiguswa na EC emblem Ebumu Kama no. I mean obviously work has started and people are already in the queue. Police presence is also very visible. And Omoye. All right, let's move on to that effect. This is not BB a cough soldier abamubia. The police will handle soldier for the Montana Bush prepare. All right, so to the next story, engineers and planners about news move for the past 1 week. Now, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has intervened in the ongoing dispute between engineers and planners and Azuma Resources Limited, issuing a 1-week ultimatum for the parties to resolve their differences. Well, Mr. Taylor, these are two companies that can really sit and resolve the matter. But from your perspective, what do you really think, say, it is something we are not seeing? Do you see something?
Yes. So for the consignment, the black water gold,
yes,
it's a very huge area.
Consignment,
934 square kilometer. And it will become one of the largest gold mining area in this country. Now, originally, the initial people are working Ejuma on Azuma. And I think from 2023 or so, a certain agreement was signed. And they were doing that kind of exploration activities. And I think it's located around the upper west area in the Kasangra area of the country. And see, one Azuma Ejuma, and then there was $100 million amount to be over the water chip, so that the mine can actually be maximized. Now, Azuma, one finances in that time known to Papa. Then engineers and planners were able to secure a certain amount from the ECOWAS bank.
Yes.
Now, by the
way, the president of the ECOWAS Bank of Africa is a Methodist.
Oh, okay.
Is a Methodist.
Yes.
Brother Dr. George Donko of Ebenezer Methodist Church. So let's also put that on record.
Exactly.
So he is the one in the picture now signing. Current president of the ECOWAS Bank of Africa.
That's
Methodist for Mumusi.
At that time now, engineers and planners, when you have the intention, the needed wherewithal, the capital to partner, or, and I'm using my word partner carefully because that time I'm talking about collaboration between me. We are on the ground. Yes, you have the financial ability to go into it. What do we do? Then the two of them being mature companies, big companies like that, they could have resolved this one. Unfortunately, they were not able to do it. And then government also, there was a seeming signing of agreement between engineers and planners and the government. And that ruffled the feathers of Azuma. Moment to be the way they free here. Okay. Until my microphone one them that what they kasa. Until one so were out, they came to rebut what engineers and planners what about no. Until akaye media war. Okay. But in this kind of agreement, no, we don't fight it in the media. What are the laws saying in this country? Mining laws, no, granting of concessions in that volume. What does it say? Does it even need parliamentary approval? What are we doing about all these things?
So we should go back to the law.
We should go back to the law. And one minister would know the continuous field now. All them it is delaying the process.
The whole process. All right. And won't you therefore agree with the few who are saying, say, the government in power is giving impetus to engineers and planners because of President Mahama and the position of his brother, Abema Tumi. Because all those while, back and forth agreement yes, but almost by impetus be able. Will you agree with that?
Yeah, for the baby, for say, as someone said, the Biauna ye, okay. And when you want to confirm and so. Okay. It's a bit the President Mahama the first step or come up bauxite consignment be and no pass them there or your president or that man the brother me did the sanka or any other company that link would not have come but because the brother no power there is possibility of a link in there on them there ne brother or your president no up there or the consignment
so the next argument from the other side is that engineers and planners is the largest local mining company.
Yeah, that's what they have.
And you know, why don't you also give it to the local mining company and not from what they call foreigners? So which one will we prefer?
In fact, Ghana say the local content. Since most of our laws we are looking at local content. And think the baby na say yo Adzika contract me or them crop here. Now contract you foreign companies bidding and the local companies bidding. The propensity is that we give it to or your local company we to my phone crop we system num now it to my kodo. And see getting the local company is better. But here the peaceful environment for business to thrive is also very, very important. Okay. And so when to now one so one differences now. So I call Azuma who engineers and planners, so that kind of disagreement will be there, and I think they should resolve it and let the project progress. Okay, so big project like
these are two local important companies here in Ghana. Bako has a financial muscle. Bako has the experience. Bako has the technical expertise. And so on and exploration. Sikasemba na business near but na yenye so that everything will remain. I think this can be resolved amicably in the boardroom, not on media. Well, the LGBTQ issue is not leaving us any day. It has come to stay. A mass sports cry who be able captain's band, somebody dedicating a trophy to their wife at home, a woman, or best female player of the day. So I'm dedicating it to my country and also my wife at home. Oh, who are banning dedicating to your wife? All right. Now, the Minister for Communication and Digitalization, Mr. 𝗟𝗏𝗘 George, has reaffirmed his unwavering stance on LGBTQ plus matters following Ghana's recent abstention from a vote on draft resolution 𝗟𝗏𝗘. Now, in a post shared on Facebook, Mr. 𝗟𝗏𝗘 stated, "My position on the matter of the LGBTQ plus remains steadfast. I have read the full statement made on the floor in relation to our position on the draft 𝗟𝗏𝗘. I align fully with the latter of this letter." However, he expressed some deep concern over the abstinence in the subsequent vote, saying, "I cannot, however, in a good conscience understand the decision to abstain from the vote." Now, in the conscience of Sam George, it should have been a vote against, not abstinence.
Yes.
Now, people are saying that President Mahama is being hypocritical on this case. What is the abstention? But Mr. Taylor, what really happened? What is the matter on the ground?
I think they're over there. What's the factor?
Let's go.
The United Nations war committee be another body be. The body no it is their duty there. What was there? And Crawford, where minority groups. Today be a more LGBT, same sex, and what no. And Crawford takes here one of them do. Now, them committee no I want you to that been now what countries no pick a snippet of information. Now I report I'm a UN. There, this is going on in this country. They are infringing on their rights and what, and therefore some kind of action should be taken. The microphone one mandate, it is renewed periodically.
Okay.
And at the last session now, and now what the time as now we were renewed. The microphone so the vote was principally not on LGBT.
Okay.
It was about renewing the mandate of that committee to continue to advocate for the rights of these people.
So in other words, there were two options. You vote or you don't vote.
That is it.
So I think this is what we must also make clear. Okay.
You don't vote for.
Okay. Vote against or you don't vote at all. Okay.
So at the time what happened. We had countries, about 25 countries and when they voted for the extension of the mandate of that UN special committee, I will ensure the rights of these people. And then we have 15 of those countries also voting against. Now for Benin, Ghana, and Kazakhstan, they abstained.
Okay.
Now the abstention of Ghana, in fact, where the Minister of Foreign Affairs has come to clarify that the issue was not about voting against the LGBT or something. However, our thinking is that since Ghana, the gender is about a male and a female. Into another,
okay.
And since what the Ghana here so go forward. Now to me there. Yes, we need to enhance the right of these people. We are against the activities of these people.
Okay.
But actually, the vote on the day was not about allowing LGBT to thrive or not to thrive. It was about renewing the mandate of that committee to continue to advocate for.
So do you therefore agree with a group of people, and I said it earlier, that President Mahama and his team are being hypocritical in this instance?
Yes, I think they are. I think that they are unduly delaying the process.
Fact, so there is also a miscommunication of some people who were saying that they were only to vote for the continuation of that committee, or you don't vote at all.
You don't vote at all.
But you see, you are just bringing the fact that there's also a third version of the fact that you can also vote against.
That is it.
And there is some form of miscommunication from some communicators trying to.
Into the baby, our day young communicators go to me now. Say headline bar. Such a headline and you be misled. You have to go into the matter and read what is there. If you get the fact, you'll be able to communicate better on the issue. However, when I work on the President Mahama is very hypocritical. I agree with them to a certain extent, except the word that maybe I may not want to go with it. I think President Mahama is becoming unduly slow.
All right. So that is the hypocritical bit now.
Well,
so
that's fine.
You use this as a campaign.
Yes.
And it was obvious that maybe sign. So what about any private member bill go through the government channel system?
Nah, so for say private members bill. That's a buying a crown or sponsor bill now. How long does it take for the government to change this particular thing from a private member's bill to a government bill? 7 months down the line.
Yes. And we know, say, there have been expedited bills.
Expedited bills. For example, holidays bill, it went to emergency. This abolition of the e-levy. So it means that and the government in power will majority to do all they want to do.
Tax there.
You see, fast and I say there was one Ghana city. What to petrol? We are fast. And see what is preventing President Mahama from sending even this bill and the state of emergency to show that he is committed to his previous stand.
Yeah. All right.
He's really delaying the process.
So Sam George is telling us that the president is ensuring that the bill that has already got into parliament will be worked on. According
to the deputy minister, former deputy minister for education, Reverend I've forgotten the one Asin South MP. He was saying that practically bill back now and parliament to wash.
Yes, and they have sent it back.
Yes. And the parliament should take the thing off their table, send it to the presidency.
Okay.
Then you assure that President Mahama so
sign. All right. In the meeting, I think MP no. So he was part of the individuals who sponsored.
Correct.
Said there's nothing to dust. All the barriers have been done. All right. What would be your take on this? LGBTQ as a media you see empekora ye hwese bianca ye kokwesi da soria na ye nyina ya boko jan na yakache president say entemwara our children are increasingly getting into this menace and it's not good news for us at all.
The way them microphone subtly will influence my from our secondary school collective education is serious.
Yeah.
Very serious, and I think we need to work hard.
We really need to work at it. All right, so quickly, let's just give 30 seconds beyond the Anti-Galamsey Task Force. Omo 𝗟𝗜𝗙𝗘, chairman of the Small Scale Miners Association, for alleged obstruction in Galamsey phobia. I don't know whether he had gone to beg or so, but I think it's purely unwarranted.
So I think few young men who are with it. No, chairman of the Small Scale Miners Association, and our patch there, or sitting for but when some information be there.
That's not what I said.
When some information be there, the microphone, they don't have any identification. Into what they just trouble their people. Into according to report, no, or there. Are they truly from the government source? On your prophobia, what shall buy letters for the general different, but a task force was one and a woman there. Why are you coming to impede in our work? And therefore they arrested.
Was it not solidarity for people who are members of his? The president, chairman of the Small Scale. So is it not solidarity? Say as president, they say, "Do baby, I'm a share."
I think so. Maybe say mix of identity or communication because they know him.
Yeah.
Into our banner say, "Oh, master, where are you coming from?" Now in there, look at our identification. Look at our letter. We are coming from the presidency, or we are coming from national security. We are in charge of controlling anti-Gaza. And see, I don't see where this one should happen. There, what will be and showing you there. Watch it. I think.
Right. Well, maybe we ask that the police will give us some details as to why this arrest has been done. Obviously, there are some addendums to that matter. All right, so that we have some breakdowns here. Now, number one, the leader of the concerned small scale miners, 𝗟𝗘𝗘𝗘, and Akufo-Addo, knew of the setting up of community mining operations in the 𝗟𝗓𝗏 Forest Reserve. Now, he is at the time knew the Galamsey in the forest was wrong, but told them that when government changes, he will help them to regularize the illegality. Now, he is discussing with the lands minister to change the illegality in the 𝗟𝗏 Forest Reserve from community mining to cooperative mining. This is a forest reserve that has been marked as red. So this is the reason why the Forestry Commission has marked the 𝗟𝗏 for now. And so that kudos to the Ghana Police Service under the leadership of the IGP, and this is coming from the quarters of Erastus.
So I think in the Galamsey fight, improvement be but Erastus in Fayeka and Crawford wait them Jumedin as and come up papa Erastus and the 𝗟𝗟𝗏𝗘 and then the Ewula Sewa, that lady when they have been Crawford Wakasa I know but recently no share Erastus no commenter. It seems there is some kind of improvement in the way anti-Galamsey for what fight the issue, and I hope that kind of thing should be sustained. Now you all
right, you see, the fact is that forest zones have been marked red.
Sharp.
Nobody is supposed to mine there. Sharp. And so if people are seen mining there, the IGP's task force must arrest them.
So until until LI 2436 or something is either amended or repealed. Because that particular law, and why I'm a president, the two me there, Obotuma Mobi, Wakaid Mo, and some free more. Oh, they find out there, are they having the permit?
Okay.
And said,
but we also have said all the licenses to those forests, they have been withdrawn.
Why are those people there?
Okay, indeed, that is what makes that is what makes the president of concerned miners suspicious. Some are saying, say, oh yeah, a party person, until no party, so we'll make sure that these things are legalized in that manner. Yes, and so we thank God that the IGP is showing some level of bravado. This is what the IGP was appointed to do, and I think say he's doing exactly that. Yeah. Well, the police will give us better particulars to this effect, but the country is also planning on having an airline that we can comfortably call a national airline, and this was contained in some discussion that went on at the Jubilee House between the president of the country, Dramani Mahama, and the Portuguese representative or the ambassador from Portugal to this effect. Airline, we tried it first, it didn't work. Ghana International Airline came, it didn't work. We are going for
Ghana Airways.
Ghana Airways, Ghana International. Yeah, called the third round. Could something come from Nazareth?
So for saying a positive, business-minded approach, Osande, Professor Lulumba, or can be about these airlines and how almost Africa, mismanaged airlines. I say the Egypt. Pen airlines are very vibrant.
In Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. Ethiopia pen airlines are very vibrant. And and you see, sir, at a taxi, my taxi driver, don't can. Na say oba for Kwadwuma free, offer umba go school free, oba for wara Kwadwuma free. You are eating your eggs. Now Ghana na Africa, they say airline now. The presidency, the executive, they have so much control over the airlines and they can move it anyhow. But airline moving it once, it takes a lot of expenses. Now, Portugal, they have very vibrant aviation industry. Statistics I said, I think in 2023 there about 50 million passengers were carried by. They are one of their largest airlines, the TAP Portugal. Yes. That is how they call it.
Yes, TAP Portugal.
In situation they have the expertise, they have the number of boa and Ghana aviation industry to Genando. My only worry is that Sekafa Dinaba, you be my experts. 100 na adeden for Sabra Ghana and they are for party people and Kwafa win industry no she no abetent ho no asay aden was say na a count of the so you want to wotia and akaya aban the count wotia and this kind of attitude that Ghana for yeduma where party people who may not have the expertise what the yeduma don't go no asay aden. That is why I am afraid. Yes, we can go into it provided we will give the industry players the free hand with monitoring to identify areas where do we need to get expertise to come and support us. Ghana, our own airline. I think it will be a pride to see Ghana airline fly again. We should run it if it comes. We should run with the needed business mind. Now, with well corporate body services, that kind of party people and business as usual.
All right, we want to believe that in resetting Ghana, the reset will bring us one aviation aircraft, for now. Now you test it. So try this.
This funny gentleman called Abokuma, the Kanabokuma be on the Bombay, the Ghana Airways in Brenna, or for Qatar Airline. It's better with the man who would like a Ghana Airways and watch it. Funny, you know, so you see, sometimes our identity too is very important.
Very important. All right, Mr. Teller, where the audio na you feel so over Kai gospel musician be a friend Jemima no Yeboa or call stars of the future near friend Jayana Nane Papa Crack or Tiny she is lamenting so bitterly of the fact that the father's expulsion from the Apostolic Church, you know, really has caused her so much. Now, worry crying to me and in her opinion, no, ne papa many are not agreeing with her in that effect. They be so fan says, but what would be your?
So for first one, I would say that I'm not a boy. Had done very well for the church, but when it gets to a point and you don't leave the scene when that plus is high, you will leave at a time you don't expect.
In fact, Mr. Teller, when it comes to media ministry, in those days, they say we 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗿𝗃. How I wish we could play one of the inserts. You know, it didn't really come.
He was very preaching, and he was speaking
vernacular.
Yeah. Not the I mean, over church Bible matters.
You know that I mean very
and that kind of sound bite.
Yes.
And see, I'm not about the Lord for the church. Now, all the baby and child and so to who there. And he
had finished Netana and wanted another renewed mandate, which was not constitutional. And people are asking, Jimama, did you really know the constitution of the church? Okay. Now, even with that, Abra Apostle Efi Christ Apostolic Church. Now, sorry, Okokoti. It was a vibrant one.
That is it.
A vibrant church.
Where is it now? And that is why you cannot actually fault people like Methodist Church, Catholic Church, Presbyterian, and all that. Our church is established on Christ. It is based on institutions and structures. And it is a presiding bishop. What I'm asking. Now, them churches now one person will dominate it. Or the baby one transition or your problem. And that is what we saw in Anaebo's case. Yes, human as he was, the president or chairman of that particular institution. Now suddenly, while the power is in there, if you say why, you know, it will have a toll on you, your health and anybody. But that also had a question. You were a leader. You were a biblical scholar or something. Couldn't you manage yourself very well?
I think I love my production team. Let's just take a little swipe at this. This is Apostle.
The purpose of election must be fulfilled. Many are the counsels of men, but only the purpose, only the counsel of God shall stand. We hear say already and a wood to Samano. Already now do Hobona there. Meet can the pain say, I feel obey.
All right, Mr. Taylor, and then the production team, form call lunch, production team, Mr. Taylor, sponsor them for me, sponsor them.
Very fast and very quick at that.
I think that's a very smart one. Sometimes the synergy and the telepathy is good. And no, Anna Yeke, a lot of misfeeling and misemotions, and say, a bisu feel say. Sometimes the children of the month they go through certain things. As to why she's also saying say her marriage collapsed. Now, if we may possibly need to do an in-depth discussion with her to really know this. But from the daughter's point of view, ne papa ni anji Kusi say the call in some.
So we are presiding bishop. Now what to 1 year, 2 years into administration. Yes, Papa Jai. And I said, "When go back home, you
constitution is a man. First time, second time, we open renewed money. But yes,
we are always castigating politicians in other countries. They want to manipulate the constitution. So we, the leaders, the Christians, we must set good example.
All right. Okay. After four, ebia munim bibia yenya yeti he yenim. Adwene yenye baako for etim. So if there are some diversions to the story, if there are some nuances to the story, Jemima no yebuade atudwe, please let us all share together. Ye penny 0256253461 0533506335 is the line for discussion. All right. Mr. Taylor, this thing will not happen in the Methodist Church.
No.
Do you envisage it can never happen?
It cannot. Because here the other, what is 6 years? Okay. 6 years if you have time beyond that. Say into Munka, let's say I say I got 3 years or 4 years go on superannuation, then you can spend only that time. Yeah. In fact, there was even a school of thought. Then I've been saying in Panas Onya Azuma. Na say na time wa 70 years asumpa anka ya mama only by 2-3 years na can, but that one has been quashed.
It was thrown away.
It was thrown away.
Once you are done with your 6 years,
you are gone. You go to superannuation before the end of your tenure, whatever you agree, you go.
So if age is not on your side, you superannuate on your statutory 70 years and you go. No fight.
This thing cannot happen in Methodist Church.
You think so? We can't ever envisage any tenure will be better because I mean, no makasa.
So, school,
you see, the beauty about the Methodist Church is that no kasa in this instant that come improve to conference.
Simple.
Asa, GPC kase we ever cause no to asamba. We are no about demonstrate actually conference in Yame no akasa.
We now to me here. Then it ends there. And this cannot happen in Catholic Church or Methodist Church. It cannot.
Yeah.
But this one man church is what dominate one person.
But the Christ Apostolic Church is not a one man.
No, so from there, that time they had their constitution. There are what worked all right. Nanka Papa no do to mu there. The time aso. So for seeing your time is up, it's very important though. I think why you are doing very well. Obia Bowden, but the baby Boko on people see that honorably you have resigned.
So Pierre Lumumba some worker say it's always good to bow out when the applause is loud.
And if you look at some of the MPs, I would lose one seat miserably if they had honorably bowed out and one honor. But now what's it? Small boy no be because
you go anymore. All right, let's go to Takwa. Gloria, good morning. Mbacho empom te senyo.
Nyamiado so mbacho munso.
Nyamiado bacho yetio.
No say the nyamin shra mo hu fa yete kama ne Friday. Africa mu aye kama. Na me pesa me bisa asem kakra fa Sophia asema amokin. Say, I need you a church then say, and I sorry or mutu abano let us say, in free and me and so papa near, but to send a moon church to me. The constitution yadia or honor pass, and ya may back a no bet you see at least. Now you follow Nipadian, so but the do soup, which is say, send your home, you or morning yard into na confusion abano. But me tell me my sorry dear. The constitution and that one I this sooner. Say ya back to say then you finding a made man obey. Into the brain church and I to tell Moody a son send and what to a back. Like I saw me your papa may or say, ye almost train me. No church me as in a day, do say. And then as soon drain prepare ye a back. Now I'm papa a Yodia Master. Yes, sister, I can hear you. Okay.
All right. In TV, I'm saying she share and she shared and she shared. Philo, good morning.
I'm great.
Yeah, this is.
Amiado. But make sure income vice chairman. So, Obin chairman, I saw the other chairman. I'm proud of you, okay?
But that's it.
A vampire mountain and the car, no, I heard you on the car. The young papa could do some more, says you were quite in a second. And it will be with you, dear, a final family. Papa, the American, a brookma about for an air custom. Yaman, and I cannot come and tell him. Young coupon, when they see me. Baba electoral commission omo Ghana papa omo Ghana ka papa say asende kwazi ye ne ebu kunta na Ghana boka ye na electoral commission chie bi ana empenifo asesa wo motena sinso na omo ye omo adwuma ye nsiesie omo anye na se Ghana boka ye njimfiri wo mo no mu cheste na de omo ye ti abaya ye akotu ena kwa de e nwanwa say Friday so ya ma holiday. Kaba one the holiday abewo. Eki we ya ko tieta ya ka eda Ghana yenyina yeto. Mo nya de aya na wo mo ye. Papa ma me ko no bi na bi nya me nka mo no ne mo nya adwum.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Yes, Mr. Taylor, you're making your point.
Yeah, so for the America there, them embrana asor for the Juman. And we say Yankupon de Juma, but in Panaway, most of Kajam de Bia, so far come Kajam de Bia, yes, or Yamin Juma, but or in Panaway Yamin Juma. Okay. And to say, I'm finna to Tukuma, the human factor, the ego. The propensity for a human being to say that I want to be forever, that can worry the church. That is why the constitutions are there to guide us. And see, on the church, say, no, you do abatona like the Methodist Church. There's no proud nomination. And at conference, over 60% want to make straight. So how can we say that Yankupon directly about 60% cannot be wrong? Cannot be wrong. Into the baby, Yamen Paibon woman because Bible said that Christ could be in a shafono and Paibon or the boom into Methodist Church about to Abana, Yadam Paibon to the chassis with them Paibon, Mammy Kofa 𝗟𝗏𝗏. Good morning, 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Me pacho yetio.
Yes, Papa. Papa.
Yay. Me ton cow.
You Papa. Same.
Me pacho lower volume no on the TV na ye ninkomo.
Papa Christ in
Yeah, deshe.
You Papa. And I pay Madam when I one can say there was our brain. And when they found the Funyan can say no more do. So from a fluffy, talk at the circuit. And from head to love, they debate him. Okay. Me used to my back. All right. Just as I would say, beloved,
let us love.
Let us. And it says American in the mean strong one, number one and husband. They are one to now, one from a train. Now, my son, they on one program and it was more function. Just my friend, what my hymns non does so my and the matter of him for what we are human back. Into my hymns non does so my and that's no one. Not you tell your name and it took the crank. And they pay me theatre credit packet. Me tell that was a minimum penny queen, I can get out the minimum penny. So for paying a recomchroma donko, with your mammas of the society. You, Emmanuel, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. TV, so you have music for you, and yes. Hymns to go on until you call your request, and then we'll sing your favorite hymn for you. All right, sister, I give you good morning. Good morning, Papa.
Now, I know pay. I shall send you.
Papa Nyankopon do me hye pa.
Yeah, the radio say.
Eno asoso we program asana udi ye no manage. Obedi asa ya fasha ate. That's right. That's right. Baso ya mawamo. Wate. Wo dance kama. Papa me start e de free Abrekumanov. Papa me de mechanic say we are tumi enya nkwasafo a. Tumi nya nkwasafo a. Enti ya ye nhye ye ho yie. E wo tumi a ye nyam ne sa ne mabi. Eti enya abato no moto no media me mpa ebo ne say enya boko because abrantie ye na skumi ya jema anu tumi ni kura no waja hoko sebi ye Professor Mills no oti akonwa so tumi kase ye nyina ne kura no oja hoko yi unya koduru ho a eye woni unya nkopon entam asem na ye besre ye mampanyi papa wonum se bogo so ye wo mines wa ha sei mines no say yenya investors mo nya adwuma mamrantia na wo mbekwa akogina ho so mo ye adwuma kra sese no ye so wo mo aye chew se concession na ye wo bidia aden na wo bi concession Azuma resources you said there concession amo baji a concession ji anya agro mo baji afri ne nsama awasa mo ye negotiation wo mo mi no ntam no wate ase na koma atwa ne yam no wadan ne diama abaya yinani na waji mines no so a woje ye no so anya sa wode ma obi awo wode ma wo awunya na woji ama no ye wamra bogo so ha ye nya investors ye land na so papa Pristia bogo so mines say ye nya obi am wo nsom tie sraban wo meso mo mayen na wamra me ye adwuma no mayen na wonja ho no teni wura se ompeni a onja ho ma no no mra ha mra me ye mayen na mra ntie ne maba wa ye nya adwuma nye na wo Pristia Unibali papa mi wie masem no LGBT price you said there be make akwa na me ya kam ketere ma do so do papa yesre ye man pani ne na pamfo omun sign bibi say oye supreme power ne kura no ohia minority enti se waso obesan a on sign ne 10 na Ghana ye hu ento ye na ye din film Togo asan me enra me hwe TV so kwa na mani agu Togo asan sa on hintum Ivory Coast asan obi asan na ye ntimi asan e de anum guase ye ni papa munyanya
okay ti ye correct bibi kakra se yen ka se ya je concession no okay all right
thank you
yeah adeshi
pacho bibi aboko die
farman boko yetio
pacho bibi aboko die
nyame adom bibi aye kama yetio
me tike munti no me control me mo kakra ana pawe me di honorable some judge and we out in paper. I remember previous government, some judge, so over the shit in Uma, and one the evangelism, LGBT. But a binding society, not in the government, Abasune. Soon some of the Shinimuno, speak to me, Cassette, soon go on the Shinimu, soon that's soon for the Shinimu. A bunny say, and my neck, a fantastic job, Amadi Mama, was smart, say, young boy, now you got to a bar. Meaning, I'm not born a smart song or not getting up that and be moon. But no, one to about it. Yes or no, and not to not moon to be yes or no, which is very bad. And my yes, my kono, honorable some dodgy away, when you never agency one. In there, what the town, I can say, Monica Betty in some dodge. I mean, it was a soldier who kono, who software bomb by a fire mouth. Because the credibility, I was on a politics move. Senior obey evangelism, no mistress, the government, Abbasman, only source of evangelism, because LGBT and not the papa, won't say a source, and will minimum. Intimately, almost a dot on fire. Residents know how country is a president. Even though I am an NDC member, but if LGBT were there to suffer a minimum, and a previous no yet down suffer for down how long but 6 months in this government, you never suffer for no, and which is very bad. They have to work out. So you will my government. A better collapse, a better generation, Ghana, you pay the bitter. Fantastic job, the man in Mama, to Nimapa, Miss Lano. I get with almost say, you did to more my Ghana, just to so clear. And I bring one of the election, so no, yes, let's say, you pay as because Sasundre and your main one, me fireman, me to win that game and cop in Juma, intimately, Malik Batas. Some motor riders now why organize your mark on Tanyamani Yamuya, election, and yes or no. You will know we need money. I mean,
all right, yes, so she said, Yankupon be doing Nimna, baby, I will be an Yamia count anyway, Juma. Mr. Tella, your rapper. All right, my main fact, you did cry. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ima, good morning.
Good morning, sir. So for what you want to say?
Nyamiadom, meet you.
And Nyameka say, Mete say, easy a parliament. Yeah. And easy parliament, as a rebusman, catch the parliament for say. Abano die yomo here military and police declare and you rerun.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yet you.
And what has changed? No, almost higher rerun. Make I say, NDC 4x5, and I see one per rerun. And now, as a bossman can say, there be one year rerun, almost say Ghana democracy. And you know, sir, easy one can say whole parliament. Ghana, you know, they be a representatives war. Next was say, rerun is not an option. But the only security on back could declare resource, you know. Court earlier, I'm just said, easy could declare the police in more security. If what has changed, means yes, 219 constituency swaba. Yan can of crow or maymuha. Most the discussion we are non physical no matter who some say ECC. Rerun is not an option.
Yeah.
Now, one more here, only military and not police to declare the results. As a bossman, I can't ask them. Mistake me. That may share with TV show.
Yeah, that's true.
Nipa Baya 5 na say rerun or say no. So what has changed? Maintain that one more rerun for those 19. I no create any memoir. Miss Ramwara, Miss Ramo, Monkas has them. No, yes, I want my cabin. Some will discuss it. Maybe who said, easy can say, rerun is not an option. And that is a rerun about. There's something has gone on behind the scenes.
All right, I think we have said that earlier. Say we all didn't understand why in Parliament a certain declaration was done and then later there was we have mentioned that they are an electoral body that is independent. And in their technical view, if that is what they think, they are some Mami free yes obedin kunim Arabran so obedin could have some na ye pese bibia be. Mr. Taylor last.
So for me just me Sarbe me pede ya kodo to tesre Ablekuma Northfo. The electoral commission have one option to select an MP. They have been there 7 months without an MP. In the Ponchawara, one more year, some day, now 1 2 year, ama, Yebo, Amiambo in Bri by the 8 9, and the Yubia, obey parliamentarian for Ablekuma North, then we can move on. But so for Harrison, the year.
Okay.
Miss Hannah Harrison, the wave him into the York Castle of Uncle.
Oh, okay.
And Bishop Kwanzaa.
Bishop Kwanzaa.
No, so 1 week,
all right.
1 week celebration or end there or a Jumako. And so when that people Shafuni Shazza. And I think that so far as the end of the motivate travel.
Time to wait me up answer what
to Yama Shafuna Mune Juma what I want to WTV and I commend the team and all of you for the work you are doing.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you too. Incoming vice chair.
Inshallah.
Unopposed.
Inshallah.
All right. My guest has been Mr. Nicholas Taylor. This is how we end the Friday newspaper review. I friend Deru. Well, remember, say, Miss Nabetina Kunyomun Yedi or Donkomo. Broken heart. And now make us say, Miss Suku for say, has your heart been broken before? I'm saying, no. Maybe cry heart of a liar. As an amateur came and then, do you want to know some of those things? Love like so, Bolo. The very Reverend Dr. Abraham Betina Kunyamunafi or the Yensen Minina Abrain. If you have your Quago Prama, so now Quarcoo diagram. Me patch your friend, your software, I mean, your method is software. Good morning.
The Christian Service University, a fully chartered private university in Ghana, is inviting applications for admission. Undergraduate programs include BSc Nursing and Midwifery, Computer Science, Information Technology, Bachelor of Business Administration, BA Communication Studies, Planning and Social Development, and Theology with Administration. Postgraduate programs include MSc in Accounting and Finance, Monitoring and Evaluation, Corporate Planning and Governance. We have MA MPhil Communication Studies, MA Christian Ministry with Management, Event Management, MPhil English and Mathematics Education. With quality, faculty and state-of-the-art facilities, we blend academic work with entrepreneurial mindset in all our programs. For more information, please call 0246-275375, 0240-154825, or 0244-596603, or visit our website www.csuc.edu.gh. CSU is located at Odeneho Kwadaso on the Kumasi Obuasi Road, 100 meters off Star Junction. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa.
And to make him better known. That's